Hey guys, and here we are. We're looking at another Gundam. Well, if you can call it a Gundam, we're looking at the RGZ-91 Rigazi, but his colors are not that right. There's purple and blue on him. This is the unicorn version of the Rigazi, which I do remember seeing it appear in the show. I did watch Unicorn a few times. I'm not even going to go through the transformation with this guy because I already know that it's not even a full transformation, to say the least. Well, actually, we probably will. We should do it anyways. Now, and I say this is the Unicorn version because they gave us extra parts. But you also have some of the original parts in here because this is the original Rigazi's body. I just snapped this together and, put some parts in there. It's like, boom, body. But some of the parts that would be there is on here. So, like, there's parts for the body. And there's also, if I can find it, well, from both. You also have the head, the original head of the Rigazi, which is still doing the same colors as this one. So yeah, it's a totally different head design. There's also the parts in here for the arms, and also the older beam rifle. So yeah, there's parts in here, even the old style hands for it, yeah, those are in here as well. So and there's also some arm parts and leg parts in here too, and shield parts too. So yeah, you have a lot. So if you could make this the older master grade version of it, but I don't think you have the parts for the head for those horns. So basically, this is what they call the re-enhanced or redesigned, refined Zeta Gundam. So what did they do? They took away the transformation system to simplify it and make it compact and easy to use and transition over. And overall, this is not a bad design. You got an opening cockpit. You got like grenades or missiles here and the side skirts. You have the shield. So everything that makes this the Rigazi, it stands out. Thrusters and a tail stabilizer, and it also comes with the BWS, the back weapon systems. And yeah, he can get kind of posable, and he has good articulation too. So yeah, he's actually pretty good over. He's a good posable thing, and he actually gets around doing stuff really well, and I like it. Feels pretty good. Also, I want to show you the box for this thing. The original Rigazi, because I'm pretty sure this is using the original one. It was an older master grade that came out probably early 2000s, right around time the older master grade, the new Gundam. This box has the P Bandai treatment. This is a purple box. Boxes like this with this kind of like purple outline like this are usually P Bandai. Why did he get the P Bandai treatment when it's just a redone version of the Unicorn Gundam? Which Unicorn. I'm so stuck on Unicorn. Somewhere I'm screaming, just yeah, in that car. Well, this is Unicorn version, but this is just a reskin from the older Rigazi, which they just changed some parts around in the chest, the arms, and the legs. But the BWS is still the same. You got different beam sabers and the beam rifle, but yeah, overall still the same. This also makes me question the Hazels, because They technically are using older Masquerade parts too. I think the Hazels are using the old Masquerade of the GM Quells. I think, yeah, I know it's like a GM, like they're using like GM Quells, the Gundam Mark II parts. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, overall his articulation is pretty good. It's the standard fare what you expect for a Master Grade. If you built the Rigazi, which I never built, it's the same thing. Though you got parts moving here and there. Oh, I didn't mean to knock off your back skirt. That really doesn't want to stay on. Now, does he have this thing? I had this thing built for like maybe a couple of weeks. Overall, it is solid. I haven't had issues with it. I mean, he holds up better than some of the other ones I've seen built up. Though I already know time and age will catch up to him. But, you know, just on building him alone, he was holding up really, really well. But I don't do transformations, but I figure well, why not? Let's do this one. He's not a parts former, but there is some stuff to it. So first we're going to go over some accessories he has. First there's this thing. This thing is a base to hold him on if you want to balance him up here. Especially transformed. Yeah. There's that. You also get 2 beam sabers. These can be stored, but the stored parts are stored back here. And they're just the tiny sections. It's like the handles without the open blade parts. And I don't even know how to... Which way these things... Okay. So I have to open them up from the inside like that. And then you got the... You can kind of see them hanging in there. And if you pull them out, that's all they look like. You also get 2 parts here. These are for the transformation. This, it goes on to the BWS to connect everything together. Then it connects to the shield, and this connects to the shield to lock and the beam rifle. And then we got the massive BWS thing itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Also, I'd see that they also recommend using the closed fist, but I am not gonna do all that. Shield. Okay, so we're gonna just pop off the hands and let's do this transformation. I never done this one before, so I'm going to see what it's like. So turn the arms inwards. Okay, this is sort of starting like the Zeta Gundam. Okay, lift this up. And there's also wing flaps here on the side, well, in the back, that you pop out. They don't come out too far, but they come out far enough to be noticeable. Oh no, you don't pull them out. Normally they're out like this, but we're just pushing them back in to hide them. And we are pushing the shoulders down. So this is so far what we have. Oh. And then you kind of... There's a double joint. It's that Z joint in the arms. So you have to do that with the... We have to do the Z joint like we normally do with the legs. Speaking of the legs, we're going to pop something outwards. It looks like this... Oh. This part back here. So gray part pops out. Oh. I think that's for the legs. Yep. Because it allows them to come out. And then we push back in. And we're pushing them upwards. And this is going to push everything back in place. Totally different from what I'm used to doing, but it's okay. The weird thing is that they tell you to do this, it's bend, and you bend one way, and then you're supposed to do it as a Z bend you have to do in the legs. Which, honestly, sometimes it's harder to do sometimes because it's not sometimes clear cut. And honestly, I don't know how I'm going to do it with this one. Oh, there we go. So it's not clear cut a lot of times of what the heck you're supposed to do. But you're supposed to, when you do this, bend this part, bend the leg forward when you do this. If you bend this part forward while you bend it will actually make the Z bend easier. And he looks totally gimped. But yeah, this is how he's supposed to look. And I hate that these thrusters pop out. That's the first time that one of these parts popped out. So yeah, we're pretty much basically got him transformed as he should be. And, you know, same thing with the feet. So this is basically what he would look like. Now we got to do the other stuff. We're going to take the shield, and we're going to take these two parts I mentioned before. We're going to push in the, this handle here. That was for the connected to the arm. And we're going to put the beam rifle in here like so. Also, there is a handle here that you can pop out if you want them to hold it, but there is no there's no grip in there, so there's that. So here's the thing about this beam rifle. It's gonna wedge, we're gonna squeeze it in here. Now, from what the manual says, it should be something like this. And we're gonna have to squeeze everything in here. Yeah, this is sort of the hard part, so I'm going to try to do the back side first. Alright. So once the back side is in, it ain't coming out, because there ain't no way for it to come out. It's supposed to be locked in. Now we got to get this top part in. And it should, yep, there we go. Because there is a slot in there for the barrel, so it will actually hold in place. Now we're going to get the BWS, and we're just going to connect this to there. Well, actually I got to move the parts up. I got to move these parts up because these gray parts inside were down. So I got to move them up so I can connect the shield to this. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm supposed to do. Oh, I'm connecting on the wrong spot. I'm dumb. So, fold the gray parts back in and leave them. It's on these blue parts. And connect them on there. So this is basically what you have so far. So, like I said, this is what we have so far. And now we lift this up. And here comes the fun part. These holes here lines up with these parts here. So yeah, now you get to wedge this all up in there. And I think I just heard something pop off. I hope nothing popped off. Because it felt like something popped off and I'm hoping it didn't. Oh crap. The bar that was holding the beam rifle in place popped off. Oh lordy, where did it drop to? I see it. Trying to pop this back in place. There we go. Okay, so with that, we lift this up and now I try to I gotta try to wedge this all in there. So head tilt down and I don't see what they're trying to get at with me connecting something to where. Oh, I see. This part is going to connect onto where the waist is. Though I don't see why my waist piece section isn't. Uh-oh. What was... Now parts are falling off. Well, luckily this one is not too big of a deal. Okay, I think we got it. Yep. That's the best I can do. Though, I don't think your head is supposed to be... Well, no, technically your head is supposed to be exposed. So, yeah. This is basically what it looks like. And, yeah, you rest it up here. Like so, if you can. Which, honestly, it won't really balance itself. You're almost better putting this thing on an action base. Yes, honestly, I don't see how you're gonna balance this thing. Well, that works. That's the first, and this is the first time I ever did one of those. But yeah, that's basically what it looks like. And honestly, as silly as it looks, I mean, this is what they did for cost-cutting measures. Because instead of them making a full-on transforming, another transforming Zeta Gundam, which would be expensive, they opted to just make a Zeta Gundam that was stripped to mostly bare bones. And it's like, hey, bare bones stripping down, and we'll just go from there. And I mean, for what it was worth, it did the job well enough. But you know, limitations aside will kick in and say you're not going to keep up with everything, because it will show limitations sooner or later. I mean, it was an acting commander suit for the Jagans, because I do believe it used Jagan parts, it used Jagen's spare parts, so yeah. There was that. So yeah. As I put this thing back together. Also, the reason they use this beam rifle is because it actually has the peg slot in it. It was actually made for this version. And honestly, if I'm not mistaken, the Earth Federation was using the Zeta gun, the Rigazi and the Zeta Pluses, and not gonna lie, if I'm not mistaken, the Zeta Pluses and this Rigazi got their asses handed to them by the Justice. Bright Noah's ship descended to Earth just to go take the base, and what did they do? Oh look, it's a bunch, it's like a couple of Rigazi, it's like one Rigazi and, no, the Zeta Pluses got manhandled and put down. This one got taken down, I think, at Torrington Base. I think there was a Rigazi assigned to Torrington Base, and it got manhandled there. I don't remember. I have to rewatch Gundam Unicorn, but I do remember any Zeta series, they got manhandled. The Zeta Pluses, in like the last episode, I think this one got destroyed by some. It got destroyed too by something. So yeah, it was. They got manhandled. It's not bad overall. It's just, hey, you just get manhandled kind of badly. But overall, I mean, having a Rigazi kind of fills in that void because it's a Zeta Gundam still. It's a different Zeta Gundam, so I kind of like to have a different Zeta Gundam. Or it's in the Zeta Gundam line. Just like I have the Delta Plus, part of the Hyakushiki Zeta line, the Hyakushiki line. So this is okay to have. Now, we're almost done. And we're just I'm gonna put him back on the shelf and admire him. There, standing there, kind of intimidating looking. So yeah, we're almost done. Got a few more stuff to go over and review.